Some of the best moments on the water don't end when you pull up to the dock, they're just getting started. I'm Brian Greenwood, and with my brother, Chef Eric Greenwood, we're bringing you Tide to Table. From the day's catch to the grill, it's all about sharing meals, stories, and time together. The way boating was meant to be. This is Tide to Table from Sportsman Boats. Welcome to another episode of Tide to Table. Once again, we're here with Chef Eric Greenwood. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yesterday, we did some steamed crabs, and we have a little bit leftover crab meat. We want to show you a few things you can do with those to make sure you don't waste anything.
That's right. We don't want to waste crab meat anytime.
It's the best there is.
Yep. So we're going to show you two different appetizers. The first one is a crab dip. The recipe originally came from our own mother, but as most mothers do, they left a single ingredient out of the recipe.
She's known to do that?
She has. So every time I make it, I say, Mom, it's not the same. What do you do different? Well, I'll make it for you.
And she says I put love in it or something like that. Yeah.
Some nonsense like that.
Well, let's do your recipe.
I took a little tweak at it, and yeah, we're going to make our recipe. We're going to get this heated up in the pan, moved over to a casserole dish. We're going to put that in the oven for about 25 minutes. While that's cooking, we're going to come back down. We're going to do some awesome crab cakes.
That is awesome.
Best way to utilize any leftover crab meat. I know it's a pain in the butt to pick all that crab after you're done eating it, or actually eating it, but pick it all. Freeze it. It freezes great. You can heat it. You can re-thaw it out, reheat it, do all sorts of fun stuff with it. So
awesome.
We'll get right into the crab dip.
All right.
First, we're going to add some onions to a pan. I have this Blackstone set at about medium or so. I don't want any color on this onion. I just want
You're not trying to caramelize it?
No, I just want to sweat them and tenderize them a little bit. So I got about a half cup of onion here. We're going to add that, give it a little stir.
How hot is this? About medium?
About medium,
okay.
Medium high. I mean, we're outside, so ambient temperature obviously affects that. If you throw the onions in and you hear it immediately start to sizzle.
Too hot.
Let's turn it down a little bit because that is going to scorch it just a little bit.
Okay.
We're not adding any butter to this, so we don't have any oil or butter.
That's going to help that caramelization.
So we're just going to let the onion sweat for just a minute. We're going to add about a half cup or so of sour cream. And about a quarter to a half cup or so of mayonnaise. For this recipe, I prefer Hellmann's mayo.
Okay.
I know in South Carolina, Duke's Mayo is a really popular brand of mayonnaise.
All over the South, yeah.
All over the South. I like it for certain applications. For this one, I think it's just a little bit too sweet. So
it does have a sweeter taste to it.
Yeah, so I just do Hellmann's mayo. So with the sour cream, mayo, and onions, we're just going to start stirring this together. And you can see a little bit of steam coming along. We're just trying to soften everything up. Like I said, this is all going to bake in the oven.
Yep.
But these two sour cream and mayo are already pretty soft. It's the cream cheese that we really need to start heating up.
Melting. And
cream cheese, when it comes out of the fridge, is a big block.
Yeah.
It's spreadable on a bagel, but it also kind of melts as soon as it hits the warm bagel. So we're doing the same thing here. We're going to add it into this hot mixture, stir it up. It's going to kind of melt, break down a little bit. It's going to mix in with all that. So we're going to add probably about a half cup or so, about 4 ounces to 6 ounces of cream cheese.
And obviously you could adjust this recipe depending on how much crab you have, how big your casserole dish is, or...
Yeah, so I try to do about a pound of crab meat with all of this combined. I mean, you've seen at Holidays, this is a staple.
We don't eat the whole thing.
It takes days for us to get through this. So today I'm using about 3/4 of a cup. Okay. We've got a couple friends coming over later on today, so it should feed about 8 to 10 people just to dip it. And like I said, we've got crab cakes as well.
The cool thing about this recipe is that it is something that you can use, 1 or 2 days in a row. A lot of times we do this around holiday season, and you'll have it for Christmas Eve and then a little bit left over for Christmas Day. So as long as you refrigerate it, you know, it's something that can hold.
And you can heat it right back up. You can heat it up in the oven, just a low temp oven for 15, 20 minutes just to warm it up. And it's also delicious cold. We've eaten it hours after the case, scraping the edge of the bowl, getting every last bit of this delicious crab dip.
So you got this heated up, you're meshing it together. How long do you think you need to do this until you can
When you're stirring it constantly, it probably only takes 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Again, depending on if you're doing it outside or if you're doing it inside on an actual controlled kitchen area, it's like 3-5 minutes. Okay. You just want to get it smooth. When you use a rubber spatula, you want to kind of smear it around, make sure there's no big clumps of that sour cream or that cream cheese. I'm not too worried about the mayo so much because that's just super spreadable anyway.
Okay.
It's really just the cream cheese. I want to make sure that that's completely separated.
Uniform throughout.
Because if you were to go and bake this, the cream cheese, you're going to have a pocket of just bubbly cream cheese, and it's just not going to be ideal.
Yeah.
You want all those tangy flavors to mix together.
Kind of mix together. That makes sense.
So in this pot, we've got all that mixed together. It's nice and smooth. We're going to add our crab meat next. And like I said, this is about 3/4 of a pound of crab meat.
Okay.
You can go more, you can go less, depending on how much you want.
Or how much you have left over, right? Or how big a party you're feeding.
Or how big of a party you're doing. Sometimes it's just you and I, and we'll go for half this, and it'll be dinner.
So when you're folding something like this in, you're just very gently, you don't want to break up the crab, is that correct?
Yeah, so if you were to go to the store and you were to buy back fin crab meat, that's like really lump, delicious meat. You want to be super gentle folding that in, because the harder you are, the more that's just going to
You want to get a clump when
you want to get a clump of
Yeah.
crab. If anything is clumpy in here, you want it to be the crab.
Not the cream cheese.
If you're picking crab at the table at the end of a crab feast, the claw meat, the crab meat, all the little bits are going to be in and out. So I still recommend folding it, because even the little bits of lump meat, those are even more special.
Okay.
So we're just going to be super
Just
careful.
don't over stir it, but you want to kind of get it all incorporated together, right?
So we're kind of folding it. I'm bringing the spatula down and just kind of folding it over on itself. And then once you think it's done, it's done.
Yep.
Don't overdo it. It's great.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull that off. I'm going to add a little bit of Old Bay seasoning to it. Yep, so we just added some Old Bay. We're going to finish it off with a little bit of parsley just to add a little color.
Okay.
This is something Mom doesn't do. I'm obviously
taking it to the next level.
I went to culinary school, so I know how to add parsley to a dish. We're going to give that one more quick little fold to get it all incorporated. Turn this burner off so we're not overcooking it. All right, we're ready to put that.
Man, smells delicious and looks delicious.
Ready to put that in the dish.
You could probably eat it right now, but you put it in the oven.
Would you like to?
No, but you put it in the oven just to firm it up, right?
We put it in the oven to make sure it's completely, like it's evenly cooked, heated through. Everything's already cooked, but it's just heated through, and it just helps the flavors kind of blend in
set
together.
a little bit. Yeah.
So you could eat this right now. It's going to be super runny. Putting it in the oven kind of evaporates a little bit of the moisture out of all the cheese and stuff, so it does let it set up.
Makes sense.
And it just makes you wait a little bit longer.
There you go.
So we're going to transfer
So you're using
this. I'm using a brownie pan.
Yep.
You can use a glass Pyrex pie pan.
Casserole pan.
You can use a casserole pan. You could use whatever vessel that is oven safe, obviously, that will fit the amount of crab dip that you're doing. So we're going to put this in the pan, sprinkle it with a little bit of breadcrumb. We're going to take it upstairs to the oven.
Awesome.
Spread it out evenly, just so it kind of cooks evenly and heats up evenly. And that's just doesn't have to be rocket science, just smooth it out. Last step to this. We're going to
eat it.
Well, go ahead. You're going to burn your mouth if you hit the right bite. We've got some Japanese breadcrumbs, otherwise known as panko. I just like it because it's really crunchy and crispy.
Yeah.
It's similar to Italian-style breadcrumbs, but Italian-style breadcrumbs are finely ground. So that's more for use, like you can use it for meatloaf, meatballs, something as a binder in a meat dish.
This you actually want to get the texture.
You want to get the crunchiness because everything in there is smooth and creamy. Even the crab doesn't really have much texture to it.
Not at this point,
So we're going to use a nice crunchy breadcrumb, and all we're going to do is a nice even coat on top. All right, we're going to finish up the breadcrumbs, nice even layer of that. If you want extra crunch, go heavier on the breadcrumbs. You want not enough? No. Yeah. So there's really no set quantity. Just make it however you like.
You want it to kind of cover over the top for
uniform. We want it
to
cover the top to make it uniform. Anything over that is just whatever crunch factor you want. I like to serve this with Triscuit crackers, which are also super crunchy. So I don't like to do a huge thick layer of breadcrumbs.
Awesome.
So we're going to take this upstairs to the oven. I have that set at 325.
Okay.
We're going to leave it in there for about 20 to 25 minutes.
Obviously, if you're making a bigger portion, it may be a little bit long. Just kind of keep an eye on it, or
it's you could, depending on how thick it is.
That's what I mean.
You can have a big cookie sheet and make it super thin, and it's going to be 10 minutes.
Yep.
You have a deep casserole dish, it's probably going to be closer to 20, 25.
Okay.
The best indications of when it's done is the exterior edges are going to be bubbling, and you're going to have a nice golden color on the top of the breadcrumbs.
Awesome.
So we're going to bring it upstairs and throw it in the oven.
Let's do it. All right, Eric, we've got the crab dip up in the oven.
That's right.
Still some crab left over from our feast yesterday.
There is. We got about a pound left.
What should we do with that?
Let's make some crab cakes.
Love it. Let's do it.
Yeah. We can make them for today. They're best to sit overnight. We can cook them for tomorrow, but let's just get the batter done. Hopefully we can throw them in. Maybe we'll have them for dinner with some crab dip on the side.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. So the ingredients in front of us are what we're going to put into our crab cakes. I personally like a crab cake that has very little filler.
Yeah.
I want just as much as I need to keep that crab bound.
Yeah, the bad crab cakes you're going to get in a restaurant are going to be mainly breadcrumbs, right?
Mainly breadcrumbs and Old Bay.
Yep.
So I'm not even adding breadcrumbs to this. We're going to make a seasoned liquid batter. We're going to fold in the crab meat, and then we're just going to pat the outside of the crab cakes with panko.
Yep.
We're going to stick this in the fridge for about 10 minutes just to help that everything set up.
Okay.
So let's put all these ingredients together. We're going to start with 1 egg. All right, we got 1 egg in there. We've got about 2 ribs of celery. Probably gonna use about 1 of this.
Okay.
We can always, like I always say, we can add more, but let's just start with a little bit.
Hard to pick it out after the fact, isn't it?
It's really hard to pick out individual celery pieces. All right, about 1 rib of celery. Got about half a red onion here. We're gonna do the same thing, just add this into it. We're gonna add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. How do you pronounce it?
Worst sister sauce.
Worcester sauce?
You got 2 of them.
I've heard worse than your sister's sauce.
That's what I kind of was going with, yeah.
Yeah, we got about...
I know your sisters.
I know your sisters. So we're gonna add about a tablespoon of your Worcester sauce.
Okay.
All right, we got that in. We're gonna do about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of Dijon mustard.
Okay.
And then lastly, we're gonna do about a half cup of mayo.
Okay.
This is the main kind of binder along with the egg. The egg's gonna bind it once it's cooking.
Yep.
The mayo is really what's gonna incorporate all these flavors together. So we're gonna start with about a half cup.
Okay, what kind of mayo are you using?
We're using Hellmann's for this.
Okay.
You can use Duke's, but like I said, it tends to be a little bit sweet and it's too powerful for the crab cake, in my personal opinion. So I use Hellmann's, which is a lot milder of a mayo.
I would agree.
So about a half cup, and then we can always add a little bit more if we need to. All right, mayo's in. We're gonna do about 1/4 of a lemon. We're gonna start with that. We're gonna add about a tablespoon of Old Bay.
Give it that classic crab taste.
Classic crab taste. You like it spicier, add a little bit more. You don't like it as spicy, you can take it back, but tablespoon is a good even road. All right, we're gonna mix this up and see what it looks like.
So you're stirring that up, can you overstir it, understir it?
No, at this point you can't overstir it. I just want to make sure all the ingredients are incorporated. We're just gonna fold in some parsley for color, and then the big thing at the very end, just like our crab dip, we're gonna add the crab, fold it really nicely, throw this back in the fridge for a few minutes just to let everything cool back down.
Yep.
Because right now it's super watery right now.
Yeah.
As you can see that with all the worse than your sister sauce and the mayo, lemon juice, all that stuff. So we're gonna add some parsley to it. All right, parsley's added. Now we've got 1 pound of lump crab meat. We're gonna put that all in at once. All right, crab meat's in. Gonna wipe my hand, try to keep it clean around here. All right, we're gonna fold this in nice and easy. And hopefully that liquid batter is just enough to coat this crab.
Just enough to bind it, right?
Yep.
Once you cook it, I guess it's probably gonna bind a little bit more.
Yeah, the egg is what creates that to really kind of bind together. If you find that you have mixed too little crab meat in with too much liquid, you got to go back to the crab pots and get more crab meat.
It's going to be hard to take the liquid out after the fact.
Yep. But if you're looking and you're like, man, that crab is just really not quite incorporated yet, I wouldn't increase the egg. It's a good rule of thumb. For every pound of crab meat, 1 egg will get the job done binding-wise.
Okay.
The mayo is kind of like the vessel that gets all the spices and seasoning surrounding that crab. So if it's a little dry, you can increase a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of mayo, a little bit of Dijon, whatever your flavors are. But this looks pretty good. I think if we were to try to form this into a crab cake right now, it's going to be too loose. It's going to fall apart.
Yep.
So we're going to throw this in the fridge for probably about 10 minutes or so. At that time, we're going to check the crab dip. I've got a feeling it's pretty darn close. That'll give us time to let this cool. Yep. We'll come back. We'll make a quick tartar sauce that's going to go with this.
Let me guess, if you put this in the fridge for too long, just kind of let it pull out for a little bit to thaw.
Yep. You can, not thaw, but at this point, if you just wanted to make crab cake batter, which is what we're calling this, wrap it in saran wrap, nice and tight, throw it in the fridge. You're good for the next couple days.
Okay.
If you want to make a big batch and it's just you can do this. Pull out one every day that you want to have a crab cake sandwich, dust it in panko. It's good for up to probably 3 or 4 days in the fridge as is.
Awesome. All right, looking good.
Yeah.
How did that crab dip look?
Looks great. Looks like there's probably about a couple more minutes left. I'm gonna go up and check it in just a minute. We might have to turn the broiler on.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we've got just enough time to whip up a quick tartar sauce.
For the crab cakes?
For the crab cake.
Awesome. Show me how to do it.
So we're gonna start with some mayo. Using about a 1/4 cup. Got about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Got got about a tablespoon or so of pickle relish, sweet pickle relish.
Okay.
Different from sweet, it's sweet.
Must be a Western thing.
I'm gonna do a pinch of parsley, maybe a pinch and a half of parsley, and about a pinch of fresh dill.
Okay.
Gonna finish that off with a little bit of lemon juice. We can always add more, but I'm gonna start with just a good squeeze. And we're just gonna give this a quick stir. And that
Tartar sauce, something that you can save? Like, you know, keep in the fridge like mayonnaise?
I mean, there's nothing in here that's gonna go bad. The herbs by themselves will start to wilt and stuff, but you really, if you just do small amounts like this, you can keep using it for a few days. And that is really all tartar sauce is.
That's awesome.
Mayo, mustard, relish, some fresh herbs.
Keep it
simple. A little bit of lemon juice. This goes great with that crab cake.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check that crab dip, make sure we're not burning the house down. We'll be right back to put everything together.
Sounds like a plan, bud.
All right, we are wrapping it up.
Crab dip looks good.
Crab dip looks amazing. It's nice and bubbly, where it was just a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Nice and browned on the outside. Crab cake batter has had a minute to kind of set up a little bit.
Let's finish this up because this may surprise you.
You're hungry.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Okay. We are very close to the finish line. So, like I said earlier, the crab cakes, I only like putting panko on the outside of it. So we're gonna dump this panko into this pan. Gives us a nice wide square footage to form patties, however big or small you want. I know we're gonna probably go bigger than smaller.
Yep.
Lightly coat both sides, add some butter to our Blackstone, fire them up. While those are frying, I wrap some asparagus with some prosciutto.
Okay.
Those roll around as well. So we'll put those two on a plate with a little bit of tartar sauce.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a great dinner.
Love it.
I brought some water out here to get my hands wet. I found when making crab cakes, if your hands are dry, you're gonna make a mess.
Probably stick to it,
Get
right?
them a little bit wet. Their crab cake won't stick to your hands as much.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand you the butter on your side.
The pro tip.
Don't do anything with it, just place it on your counter.
I can do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're gonna make these crab cakes. Like I said, you can make them tiny little $half size, big old hamburger size. Yeah. We're gonna go for somewhere in the middle and go from there. So, we're gonna grab our crab cake very lightly. See, it's still kind
You're
of...
not trying to pat this together like a hamburger.
We're just trying to get it to form. It's gonna feel a little bit wet, but that breadcrumb is as dry as it is gonna soak up a little bit of that moisture, and it's gonna leave the inside of that crab cake strictly crab, no filler.
Perfect.
All right, so we've got one. We'll just place that in there ever so slightly. We'll do the same, and we'll get about 4 of them. We've got more than 4 in here. We're gonna do about 4 for today.
What are you guys gonna eat?
You're eating all 4 of these yourself? I guess we're making 6 then. All right, we've got 4 good sized crab cakes. I'm gonna rinse my hands, get rid of the water. All right. Brian, if you could take a chunk of that butter and throw it in the middle of that Blackstone, please. Perfect. We're gonna shake these crab cakes, gently try to flip them over. And then we're gonna move them to the butter. Kind of reform it a little bit. As it gets hot, that egg's gonna help bind it together. We're gonna repeat with the rest of these 3.
Sounds good.
All right, we got the last one down.
So now that those are on the griddle, how long are we gonna cook those for?
Just until they're nice and golden on both sides.
So you're going more for color than trying to heat them?
Yeah, we're trying to keep the griddle nice and low because I don't want the panko to brown too fast. So we're gonna keep this on low. If you could throw 1 more pat of butter right up in here, we're gonna add our prosciutto-wrapped asparagus. Go closer to the crab cakes. There you go. Thank you.
You bet. Couldn't do it without me.
Yes, you helped stir the pot. All right, so we're gonna let that asparagus kind of crisp up a little bit. Looks like that first crab cake is just about ready to flip, so we're gonna very delicately flip this crab cake. Falling apart a little bit. There we go. Now these crab cakes, like you said earlier, are not your restaurant type. They're not super filled with breading, so they are going to be very
They're
loose.
not going to be like a hamburger patty when you're done
they're going to
cooking
be
them.
very delicate, which is why you need to be very careful flipping them. If they crumble apart a little bit, it's okay. Just
Gotta
push
put it back
them
together.
back in, let everything do its job, and it's going to be a delicious
tastes
crab
just
cake.
fine.
Yep,
Yes,
you're going
sir.
to be able to cut a bite out of it, dip it in our tartar sauce, and we're going to be good to go.
Love it. What is that? It's not a regular spatula you're using there.
No, in restaurants they'd call this a fish spatula or a slotted spatula.
Yep.
It lets you get underneath a very delicate piece of protein.
Okay.
In this case, a crab cake or a fish, with relative ease. It makes it lighter. You can get just the one leading edge is actually cutting across the seared part, and then you're letting just any fat and stuff drip through it. I like it. Our family calls it the Heslin
That
tool.
was Grandma Jones.
Yeah.
That was her tool in the kitchen.
Yeah, we use this all the time in all applications. But yeah, for general, it is a fish spatula.
All good.
So we're flipping these. Prosciutto's getting nice and crispy. We're going to be done in just a minute.
Love it. Not a minute too soon.
Oh, are you hungry?
You met me.
I have met you.
There you go.
On more than one occasion.
There you go.
And I can tell you by the smell of this, I'm getting pretty hungry myself.
Yes, sir. So second side's going to cook just as long as the first side?
Yep. Yeah, they're starting to hold together a little bit nicer now. Nice and golden brown. Nice and tender in the middle. Prosciutto and asparagus. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
All right, these are looking good. We had a little bit of an oopsie daisy.
It's the one I touched. I apologize.
It's all good. We're gonna move this asparagus off to the cutting board here because they are nice and golden and perfect.
They're good.
Then we will get these crab cakes out of the way. Brian, you've been trying to snitch all day.
Yes, sir.
You can go ahead and snitch on that.
I will do it.
We are all set with the crab cakes. We've got our delicious crab dip, prosciutto-wrapped asparagus, homemade tartar sauce, some lemons to go with it. Let's get out of here and go eat.
I think we're about ready to eat.
I think we are too.
Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Tide to Table.
Thank you.
Please remember to subscribe. See you soon.
Thank you.